Okay, I'm going to transition.
All right.
And
we're up. Hello, citizens of Fer.al, and welcome to our first ever live stream on Fer.al Direct. I am Kitson Dragon, Community Manager for Fer.al.
And I'm Sam, the Senior Writer.
And we're here to show you the latest game from WildWorks, Fer.al. So without further ado, Sam, why don't you take us on a spin?
Get it prepped. Let's see. I gotta open up the thing. So
yeah, go for it. Go ahead, log in. A little bit longer. So you're a senior writer. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about what you do here at WildWorks?
I'm typing in credentials right now.
Oh yeah, multitasking, so that'll be fun. So I'll tell you what, I'll let you, I'll let you log into the game. So I know a couple people have asked about what it is I do, sort of on a daily basis. So as community manager, I am responsible for our Discord and the general well-being of our community across different social avenues, social media, and then eventually a forums once we have our forums set up as well. In the meantime, if you haven't been there yet, please come over to our Discord, check us out. We have a lot of different chats for speculation on what's happening in the game right now. Our game is very lore heavy. We like to explore different avenues for the reasons your character is there, what you're doing, and it's very open-ended, so people like to sort of create and mess with their own additions to the game. I know a lot of this is done through our avatar creator, which you'll see in a bit, and how you can change the way you look and why you can change the way you look. So Sam,
we're in.
We are in. So here is the city of Fer.al. Once you first start here at the portal, you'll be surrounded by a bunch of other people. This is a big social area where people will come and hang out and make friends and offer to trade. So why don't you take us into the avatar creator?
All right, yeah, we'll just go right in there. I'm going to open up our customization screen in the top corner. It's blocked by my face currently. But yeah, we'll open this up, and so we have our customization screen. First off, we can tell you this tutorial ourselves. So what we have here, we have our avatar. This is a kitsune, and it is one of the few.
What other models do we have? Right now?
We have the kitsune, which is like a fox, the senri, which is more cat-like, and then also the dragon, which is a dragon.
Yeah, it's one of our premium items at the moment. I know a lot of people have kind of requested different versions, different creatures and stuff. So we're looking into adding some more creatures to the avatar created in the future. Yeah. But for now, why don't you run us more through the kitsune and the different options available?
Yeah, so maybe while I'll go through the basics of this, and maybe the chat can decide if we customize a senri or a kitsune.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'll start with the head. So there are two different head types. You can also change the size of your head. If you want to look more kind of like a little baby.
Yeah, the more chibi one, the rounder one.
And then there's eyes. So there's pupil types, pupil sizes. Like, I'll zoom in a little bit. There we go. So yeah, there's so many different ways you can customize. You can customize the shape, the pupil. This is my favorite pupil because it's all scary.
I'm just a little more startled. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have that. We have different ear
horns
types.
Are a neat touch.
And yeah, so you can customize the size, color, shape of a lot of these things. There's all different mods that you can try.
It looks like we're getting a lot of senri requests. So why don't you show us the senri?
We're gonna switch over to senri. There we go.
There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, I love the more kind of ocelot look to it. It's what I think of when I see the color pattern.
Yeah, and I was let's see. I really like this head because you can see it actually changes the animation, your idle animation.
Oh yeah, this one sort of it bobs back and forth a little bit more. It has a different bounce to it. I like that. One question that we get a lot about the customization is your spark. So what is your spark?
So we have, ears, horns, but there's also, I think it's kind of a little bit blocked by our little frame of our screen.
Yeah.
But this is the spark. If you go into here, you'll notice that it starts changing the color of this gemstone thing on your forehead. So what's going on here is that basically as a player, you are inhabiting a life form called a spark. And the spark is they're just sort of
represent your soul in a way.
Yeah, so it's like the core of your being.
Yeah.
And the sparks are a life form that can basically take on whatever form suits them. So like as you're customizing your character, you're kind of like the spark deciding like what you want to look like, who you want to be, what form you want to take. So it's sort of like a personal expression of
and it can change at any time too. So you're not just locked into one form.
Yeah, and another thing about sparks is that they can change form whenever they want. So like, if you're the idea is that when Fer.al beta opens, when like the early access opens, and when players start playing this game, that kind of coincides with a big like mass migration of sparks onto the planet, because throughout history, sparks are kind of drawn.
They're migratory.
Yeah, they're drawn to the planet of Fer.al. So everyone's doing their own like OC thing. Their original characters are coming out with characters. So like maybe your spark is part of this big migration, or maybe your spark has been here for a little bit. It's kind of up to you, whatever you kind of what you want to come up with.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore embedded within the game itself, and then there's a lot of lore that players create through roleplay, through Discord, and through just sort of how they explore the universe within the city of Fer.al.
Yeah, and I think as far as being a writer for this, and coming up with I do have some stuff where I just control. I'm in charge of all the text that goes into the game. So sometimes it's just we got to make sure this says eyes, we got to make sure this says horns. But
all the editing and
there's stuff like that. But then on the higher level, we also decide kind of what lore we're going to put into the game. And
you have a heavy hand in that as well.
Yeah.
You could decide, some of the backgrounds for some of these NPCs.
For sure. And I think, as far as my experience goes, working on this game, I think it's been a lot like being a DM in Dungeons and Dragons, where you're you're working together with people to
with thousands of people.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just kind of messing around here in this.
Yeah. Why don't you show us some of the different colors and the decals? I would love to see some of the decals you can add.
So
now this is the widest variety of change that you can add to your characters with these decals. You can sort of like tattoos, but they have the look of being painted on. So they're more like brush strokes, the way you can add and change color and stretch them out and grow them to even cover larger portions of your avatar.
So I'm gonna get purple here. I like purple. We'll do that. So basically, another thing that's really cool about this character creator is that it actually lets you copy and paste your hex value, which is the hex value is the code that each color on the computer has. So we can actually copy and paste this. Say we want our eyes to be the same color purple. I copied and pasted it into.
It's easy to make it match.
Yep. There we go. So it just changed our eyes to purple. So it makes it really easy to match your color to get that perfect look. So so we got kind of purple face. I'm gonna go into the spark and make that. Pink. Pink's a good one. Yeah. All right. So now we have kind of our basic. We have our basic look down, basic colors, and now we bring it to the next level by adding
decals.
Decals. So
this is my favorite area.
Yeah, this is so cool. I love this so much.
You can spend hours in Avatar Creator.
It's awesome. So with decals, you can. I've selected this one, and they actually let you move it around. You can rotate it different ways. and also have
You can choose to have it mirrored or not. So if you want like a mark to show on one side and not the other, you can have that option.
Yeah, see, if we click on the mirror option, that puts it on the other side too.
Yeah.
So here we can even like, yes, I like doing fun things with like eyebrows.
Oh, adds more expression. That's when you can have fun with the face.
Yeah, like, ooh, look at that. Oh wait, no, it's covered by the camera there. I'm just looking at my screen. Okay, I'll zoom out. There we go.
Much better. Yeah.
But yeah, and I still have this this purple color. Let's get that.
Oh, we have a really interesting question now, Sam. I'm not sure if you can answer this one right now, but the question is: are sparks connected to the middle of the planet? A lot of things seem to revolve around the core. Mm-hmm. I think by planet they mean the expanse, the center of the expanse.
The planet of Fer.al. Yeah, it's made up of like, it's kind of a volatile planet. So it has this kind of core energy in it that sparks are drawn to.
So good question, yeah. Mm-hmm. They're not, I don't know if they're connected per se, but they're definitely drawn to it.
Yeah, like maybe they can kind of forge a connection there, and kind of like when they call the planet their home, have some sort of like emotional connection there. But yeah, I think it's sort of like, maybe it's like a lighthouse, out in the cosmos.
Yeah, a beacon that we're all drawn
to. Yeah. Cool. What else can we do with decals? Just in this little test run here. I'm gonna
change the colors. Maybe just add a different one.
Yeah, so we have the scenery comes. I think each avatar comes with some already set on there to kind of like get you started. But you can clear them off and add another one. Here's like the whole list. Like you mentioned earlier, it's a lot like painting onto the character itself, because all these could kind of take the form of different brush strokes or whatever. What's a good one?
I just like the rose one. If you're going for more of a tattoo look.
Yeah, like some of them just like are kind of straight up like tattoos, and then other ones you can use to kind of build shapes or kind of stripes. Like, we can just add some cool stripes
there. You go.
Here. Yeah.
Why don't you make that one green? I'm partial to green.
Okay. Yeah. This will be a team effort. It'll be a team effort.
Yeah, I like this.
Okay. And then we'll mirror that across.
And then to see what the real look is, it's good to select out so that
because it has a blue highlight around it, just so you know like which one you're messing with. But yeah, well, let's I think maybe a little bit lighter, a little bit less saturated. Let's see how it's looking. Okay.
One thing that I really love about our avatar creator is that your equipment doesn't necessarily cover up everything you've built. So a lot of RPGs, you'll spend hours in the avatar creator to make this awesome, character that represents you and everything that you are about. But then you just covered up full plate and you're walking around. Well, no one can tell anymore.
Or like some games have like you customize your character or whatever, and then it just turns into like first person the whole time. So I just should have just customized my hands apparently.
Yeah, our equipment, the way it's set up right now, only adds to the features that you design. Mm-hmm. You choose to have little hats and stuff, or tail adornments, and they all just sort of add to what your character looks like. Mm-hmm. And you can change the color of those. Now, unlike decals, you cannot change the color of your equipment right away, but that's what we have dyes for.
Yeah, maybe we'll move into there.
In fact, why don't we head into the city?
Yeah, we'll call it good. I think the scenery pales in comparison to some of the things that the players have come up with, because that's all over the place and it's awesome. But yeah, we'll go with this for now. Wait, I think the horns are clashing with our color scheme a bit. I'm just gonna take them off really quick.
Yeah, it's a nice fit.
I think I'm not sure if you can put decals on horns, but that's sometimes what I do to like cover up colors. Like if you even want to change like the color of the inside of the ear or whatever, you can just put a decal in there and like make it big enough to just like paint over that, just smooth that out. But yeah, okay, we'll do
this. We also have a couple more questions about sparks. So let's see. Related to
I'll
sparks.
add this to my favorite look really quick. Haha.
So what are the crystals that float above the ears? Is that related to sparks at all?
No, that's just more of a kind of like, the form of the scenery.
Right. And then, why do some NPCs have sparks? Are they different than players? Are sparks exclusive to players?
So yeah, there are some NPCs that are sparks. Like I said, sparks have been drawn to this planet throughout various points in history. So there are some NPCs that have sparks, and they've taken these forms that they've decided, like, this is the form that I'm going to be. So that's why we have such like really unique looking NPCs. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. Everyone's hopping around us.
Everyone.
Hello. Okay, we're going. Woo. Maybe they won't notice. Maybe they won't notice we escaped. Okay.
So where are you headed right now?
So I'm headed. Actually, yeah. So this is kind of up the plaza here to more of a shopping area of City Fer.al. So
let's check out the equipment.
Okay, so in here, this is the clothing shop, Fer.al Fashions, run by one Andrulian Fawnlin.
There is a lot of speculation about Andrulian and his history and what he's doing here. So I love seeing some of the stories that our players have come up with.
So yeah, he says when you talk to him, this is his bit of dialogue, very enticing. It says, "Welcome to Fer.al Fashions. Please take all the time you need. I hope you find something to your liking."
Nice voice.
So yeah, we'll check out the shop here. All of our items are made through crafting. So you gather either likes, our currency, or various
a lot of different materials.
Yeah, a lot of different materials you can collect and harvest throughout the game. But yeah, so I think we can get this already. That's a nice one.
Oh yeah, there you go. So why don't you go ahead and craft that? So this will cost. Why don't you read out the ingredients?
Yeah. So these dancer tail jingles, they're just they cost some likes, some copper, and beetle crystal. And I think I'm pretty sure you kind of start off with a few materials when you have an account. But yeah, we'll do this. And then each item also has a little description that we've written, and then we wrote like so many. There's so many items in this game. So that was one of the big challenges for the writing team to just like.
That sounds like a fun project though, to create a little bit of flavor for each one.
Yeah.
I know one of the questions we get a lot is, what does it mean when an item is cool? Or some of the other descriptors we have. So yeah, right now it's not just flavor text. Adds a little bit more interest and something for you to collect for the fun.
Yeah, and we just have sort of like a rarity system. So I think cool just means that it's like it's a bit more, it's cooler. It's cooler than your common.
Obviously.
And I think it typically also means that like you need a bit more work to craft it or something, or it costs a bit more. I think that's the main difference there. So yeah, we've got. Let me see if there's anything else we want to make. I really like our tail accessories are cool because they just kind of just like float on the tail.
More delicate. I like that.
Yeah, let's find something.
Sure. And then we already have some equipment just starting out too.
Yeah. Okay. So let's craft this. Another little thing of flare there. All right, we'll go back out and
I don't believe these are equipped right away.
Oh so yeah, it's just displayed on the app in the shop interface. So
your avatar screen, yeah. So we can go in and equip them.
I went into inventory instead of equipment, but as the writer will tell you, this is where you can read all the descriptions, if you want to read the descriptions.
Read the descriptions, validate our writing.
Some
all
players...
the text, right? Everyone reads the quest text and NPC dialogue.
Some players, they're just like, oh yeah, it looks cool, but other players are like, I need to read everything, and so, thank you.
Well... There might be a little bit more hints into lore for some of these items too.
Yeah, because there are so many items that we've actually had a lot of opportunities to write about them, insert little things about the world or whatever. So there's actually a lot of stuff to be found in the descriptions for some of these. Every player.
that you can go into, and you cannot change the color of them like you can with the decals. But that's why we have our dyeing system. So I believe there's a set. Yeah, there we go. There's a set of dyes that we have starting out.
Yeah, let me check. Actually, so this is just where your dyes are listed here. So you can tell which ones you have, and they also even have the color code at the bottom here in case you want to match your look to the dye color that you've used. So that's another cool thing. But yeah, you actually you dye them within the accessories tab. So I might shift our webcams over so that we can kind of see that a bit better. So
more.
There we go. Let's see. So yeah, basically you go up into accessories if you want to dye something, if you want to change the color. And I think that's again going to cover up some stuff. So I'm going to pull it back up. Okay, so we have, let's dye our tail jingles. So we click dye item at the bottom, which is again, it's covered by our frame for the stream, but there's a little ball icon. Click dye item, and that gets you in here. We have like green stripes. We can dye it green. So we'll click on a green dye. You can see if we go through some various other ones. You start out with 5 colors of dye, and you can earn more through playing games. We'll also take
you can craft more too.
Yeah, we'll take a stop in Miss Marguerite's shop to dye for. She makes various dyes with her beetles. So okay, but we'll start with this one. So at the bottom you can see the color change that's going to take place. It's going to it's sort of a, I don't know, like a desaturated green that these were before. And so we're going to use the dye on these, and that'll use up one of our dyes. They're consumable items, so we'll do that. And I think it'll load in a bit. In the meantime, this is great. Okay,
you guys are fantastic.
We keep like hiding in these menus and like, hello. Okay.
Well, you know, it's funny. This sort of reminds me of some of the earlier days in early access. Before early access, we have a wall set up near the first gate when you first log in, and it has affectionately become known as the rat wall because some areas of the game don't always have physics attached to them. If we want it to just be more aesthetic, you can sort of walk through these edges. But the rat wall, it was surprising that it did because it was such a thin-looking I guess structure, for lack of a better word. And so people made a game of it to go and climb on the edge of this, and they said it looked like a bunch of rats kind of milling about in the same spot. And people loved it so much we actually made it an item in the game. Yeah, you can. It is an item you can unlock. Yeah, let's see. I'm not the best at this. I haven't gotten this down to a science, but we'll get up. We won't get on top because I think that's hard to do. Sure.
There we go for a sec.
Everyone climb on the rat wall.
My own rats are very proud of you all. I have 2 pet rats.
Oh yeah, Sam. Yeah, you have a pair of rats. What are their names?
Their names are Ricky and Tiptoe.
That is adorable.
I love them.
It's been interesting working from home these days. You get to meet everyone's families and pets.
Absolutely.
And, it's always a delight when you're in a really important meeting and your cat jumps over and just walks right and goes, "Oh, help yourself."
My rat's cage is like right next to me here, and sometimes they'll go up and like lick their water bits, and it'll be like beep 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 beep.
And we can all hear them doing.
Yeah. You can hear them staying hydrated.
It's important.
So, as we said, this is to dye for. This is where you can craft some more dyes. If you for some reason aren't satisfied with the 5 basic primary color dyes you get to begin with. So there is Miss Marguerite here. She's another NPC, and as you can see, she also has a spark in her forehead there.
Oh yeah, I hadn't noticed that before.
Okay.
And then some of these dyes have become sort of a mark of prestige, whether or not the color itself is appreciated because they're more rare. they're a little bit more coveted, so they take more rare ingredients.
Yeah, they're harder to get, but maybe the color is just really nice. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into coloring if you want to like completely match your whole like coordination, your whole coordinated outfit to like, you know, what you're making. Like it takes a lot of work for some of these.
It does.
But yeah, we can I think we just, yeah, we obviously can't get the really cool stuff. But let's make a baby blue. That sounds nice. Oh wait, no, we can't make we don't have
no
a
one likes
like purple.
Yeah.
Or yeah, let's just do baby blue's nice. And she.
I love that animation.
Yeah, our animators are so great. They've come up with such fun stuff for all of our characters to do. Because like we'll make a lot of these characters have started off as concept art, and then for some of them it was concept art, and then writing kind of said like, okay, here's what we think this character would be like, and then that's handed off to like the the modelers to build out the character, and then onto the animators who follow kind of our guidelines of what personality they want, like we want the character to have. So yeah, it's a whole like involved process to really bring these characters to life, and we have a lot of talented people on board who like, you know, have realized all these visions that we have.
It's incredible the amount of depth that's put into everything. Is there anything more you can tell us about Marguerite and her story?
Yeah, mostly,
or is that something people are just gonna have to wait?
You know, she's I think she's you know, she has a good sense of humor, because like, you know, and Julian's shop, he calls it just like Fer.al fashions, you know, and then you know, it's pretty straightforward and simple. You know, I think he's maybe more of a reserved person, whereas like Miss Marguerite, like, you know, her shop's called To Die For. Her
it's a little cheekier, a little sassier.
Yeah, her mini game that you can play is called Do or Die. So, you know, I think it's she has a bit more of like, you know, she's a bit more boisterous.
Yeah. Why don't we explore a little bit more of the city?
Yeah. So
now I know there's one area that's kind of off limits at the moment. Oh, but what is this? I know the clock itself.
Oh yeah. So
people love this clock.
Yeah. One of our environment artists put a lot of thought into like, you know, how they would tell time. And let's see. It's my understanding that the petals in the middle are days of the week, and then outside here is the minutes, and then on the very rim, those are the hours. And so you can kind of see how it cycles from day to night. Like, so yeah, that's like, we have an environment artist who puts a lot of like thought into the worlds that we're building and like how they actually function, which has been really cool. And sometimes the two of us will like get together to try to hash out some ideas of, you know, how things like that work.
It's a lot of thought was definitely put into that as well. So people are really eager to know more about the clock.
So yeah, if we go up here, so there's some sort of kind of alleyways through here where it looks like there's more like residential things, aside, like kind of away from the shopping plaza up there. And then up here, what we have is a castle, which is
this is the area that I'm excited about.
Yeah, so there are these two guards outside, and you can talk to them, but they aren't very talkative. They don't say much to you.
Yeah.
So one is called Hawk, and the other one is Vivian. And so yeah, just kind of looking at this, you can kind of see that like it's kind of there are two different aesthetics, like two different clashing kind of ways of like aesthetics, imagery. Right. Yeah. So we have like a more angular green one, and then this more floral pink one. And so, yeah, it's like, and it's even in this flooring here, in this floor pattern, you can see how it makes a transition from like, you know, the angular to the floral. It goes all the way around. But yeah, it's as if like, you know,
there's definitely something going on there.
You know, who's to say? But yeah, it's like with this kind of like clash of the two aesthetics, it's like, you know, two roommates have like the strip of tape down the middle of their room or whatever.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what comes to mind. Where you have like the punk rocker on one side and the neat and tidy, where I don't know. I guess the cute style on the other side.
Yeah. So there's definitely something going on there.
Are there any other NPCs in this area that we could take a look at?
Yeah. So we have various. Oh yeah. So Rosemary.
What does Rosemary say?
Yeah, I'll read it out loud in case anyone's just like listening to this. So, Regina's taking her sweet time at the castle. She should have been back with guard rotations by now. How are we ever going to get in if she keeps stalling? Oh, sorry if I bothered you. My sister and I are just playing pretend. It's part of our break into the castle and steal stuff roleplay game.
I believe her.
It sure didn't sound pretend. You might want to keep an eye on this one.
Definitely something sketchy going on there.
Yeah, and then if you kind of keep exploring, let's see, we'll go up here.
Oh yeah, this little hidden, kind of a quiet park area.
Yeah, but if we check up here, she mentioned Regina, and then Regina says, "Do you ever imagine what it's like inside the castle? Who doesn't? Right, like sometimes I imagine climbing up and looking through every single window and to see what kind of valuables they keep inside, don't you? Oh, the queens must be loaded. Ooh, we got queens. Imagine." And then sometimes I think about finding old architectural records at the library and tracking the movements of the castle guards to find the perfect time to break in at a vulnerable entry point. Don't you? No?
It's oddly specific.
Oh, well, me neither.
I mean, I wasn't thinking about it before, but I am now.
You might want to keep an eye on this one.
But on the other hand, this might be an avenue into the castle.
Yeah.
Who knows? So why don't you take us back around? I know there's a couple of NPCs that we have back near the starting zone that are big favorites of our community. One in particular, I think you all know who I'm going to mention, but it's our decal expert.
It's Alita!
And fitness guru. Way to drop that one. No, of course, I'm talking about Brody. Everyone loved Brody. I mean,
Dog following Brody, apparently.
He has more followers on Instagram than I do, which is, I don't blame him for that at all. Great fitness tips.
Okay,
and just a generally fun character.
Yeah, he says, when you're customizing Bro Self, click the swirl icon and then the plus sign to choose what the decal you want. From there, you can change things like its color, size, rotation, and where you want it to go. You can even be like me and mix and match decals for some sweet looks, bro.
Brody's fantastic. He's easily my favorite.
And it was the funniest inception of him because like we really just needed someone to tell players how to use decals. So one of the designers came up with the idea to just like deck this guy out in so many decals that it looks like he has like abs and stuff, and
and all the tattoos.
Yeah, and our previous writer, Adam, he was the one who wrote the dialogue for Brody, and so I've kept him up to date on
legacy,
on the legacy that he has left behind with Brody, and we will carry it on. We will carry on the legacy.
So Sam, why don't you bring us out to our sanctuary?
All right, yeah. So you can walk around in this social area, City Fer.al, as well as various other places in the world. I think you can hear my rat now. Maybe
just lightly.
Yeah, he's drinking his water. Okay, but so you have the social area, but you also have a sanctuary, which is up here. My webcam is blocking it once more, but it's an icon shaped like a house.
The world icon. Yeah.
Up by your character customization, you click My Sanctuary, and that brings us to our personal little island.
And this is a place where you can customize a lot of different features about your house, about the layout of your garden. We've had some people ask if there's going to be any terrain sculpting in the future. We're not sure quite yet on that one, but we definitely have a lot of. My goodness. They
knew Come here.
It's a bit crowded already. We love you guys. You're amazing. Welcome to our sanctuary. Yeah, obviously it's nothing's really set up here yet. But Sam, if you want to take us through some of the options, I know some of the tutorials are still popping up, so we can read through that, or you could skip through it really quick and we can just talk.
Basically, you can rotate so you have furniture just like you can have accessories. You can also dye the furniture using your dyes, and then just kind of customize your entire like house layout. You can put sanctuary furniture inside and outside. So you can really just like live out in your lawn if you wanted, or
I did a build once where it was just a lot of foliage and trees inside to make it look like a little private
cool.
forest.
Yeah, like as if there's a forest inside or something.
Yeah, you can do like different flooring, you can do wallpaper, windows.
Yep, and then once it's placed, I don't know. Okay, there it is. It was giving me a little bit of difficulty dragging.
Yeah, that one.
But yeah, so we can put some plants outside, look all cute. And then
over time you can buy upgrades and expand the different rooms inside.
Yeah, you can, build it out. Eventually, you'll collect a bunch of cool furniture. We also have like lighting options in case you want it to be a little bit darker inside.
Yeah, I love the different lighting features. You can make it look like early morning or night or afternoon. It's like soft or cool. I think they're described like warm light. Yeah.
I think that's all interior as far as I know. I think the outside might stay the same. Oh yeah, and then just like you can save outfits, you can also save land. You can also save your sanctuary layouts, so that if you want to be like, one day you want this layout and then you decide you want to switch things up, but you don't want to lose all the work you put into the first one, you can save it.
Right. So if you want to have, for example, like your personal house where you have a study and it's more comfortable, then you can have the party house for whenever like this, or whenever you have friends over. It'll be a different atmosphere. So so here's the inside.
Party is really happening in here. Okay.
Sorry, we don't have any food, everyone.
Oh man, yeah.
We're horrible hosts.
Kate, I forgot to bring the chips and dip.
Oh, I was supposed to bring it. At least it's not cake. With mayonnaise.
But yeah, basically, that kind of covers the basics. You can drag your furniture on. Like I said, you can put plants inside. It's okay. And you all start out with basic furniture. Eventually
jokes come up through the chat. For those of you unaware, there's been this joke about putting mayonnaise on cake in our Discord. One of our moderators, in fact, stands by the combination as being something fantastic. And so we had a little joke up in our rules section where I went and edited a fake rule where it's like mayonnaise on cake is not allowed. We don't have that here, so.
Well, in Fer.al, you can live how you want to live, so...
You can live your best life. It's not for me to say what you should or shouldn't eat. I just want you to eat healthy, so...
Yeah, like, don't go too overboard, but you can treat yourself to some your favorite kind of cake, how you like it,
Awesome. Well, Sam, why don't you tell us a little bit more about some of the work that you've done in Fer.al? So, like whether or not it's NPC dialogue, different quests that you might have written for.
Yeah. So, I've written a lot of the item descriptions. Like, there are like hundreds of them. So that's that's sort of your main responsibility is the item descriptions. It has been in the past. I think I've sort of shifted into more like I've written the quest dialogue for several quests, and in team with our other writers. Like we have two other writers on board, and one of them is like a super awesome comedy writer, so we rely on her a lot for like the really funny stuff. Like she's been responsible for like some of the really great jokes.
So yeah,
a lot of the dialogue has,
I've
like,
kind of more attitude.
Yeah, I've kind of worked more on like the kind of overarching lore of like how this world functions, and you know, I'm just running around in circles and everyone's following me.
That's part of the party. We're all just everyone it's sort of a swirling mosh pit. Everyone run.
It's kind of hard to talk and like run this, so I'm just like, yeah, we can just let this go.
So why don't we take some more questions from the chat?
Yeah.
It looks like there's still people asking more about Andrelian. And pants.
Oh, beloved pants.
Sam, what is the pants joke? I don't get it.
Oh, well, like, so it was just really funny. So for this quest, we needed someone, someone has lost a pet, and as I was like, when another writer writes the dialogue, I am usually the one to do an editing pass on it to make sure that, like, it's fitting the character's voice, it's fitting the information we need to convey, it's fitting into the Fer.al world, all that. And so in that process, we hadn't the other writer hadn't decided what to name this pet, and so I was like, well, I had a rat named Pants once. Let's name it Pants. And so. And then after that, I actually found out that our modeler had modeled a rat. Like, I was just like, Pants is a really good pet name. It was one of my rat's names. But yeah, so like the creation of a game, it's a lot of people kind of contributing to something, to like one like final result. So Pants kind of came from like a lot of different sources. But yeah, like I will give credit to my friend, because like Pants, the original, the OG rat Pants.
OG rat.
We adopted her from a shelter, so she didn't have a name, and I had been telling my friend at that point I was reading part 7 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and there's a character named Hot Pants. And
there's like more layers and layers.
There's so many layers to Pants, honestly. But yeah, and so we were just like, we should name this rat Pants.
And now its legacy is secure within the world of Fer.al.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she lives on.
So here's another question about Striker. So why is Striker so sketchy, and where did he get his items from? First of all, who is Striker?
Yeah, well, let's go over and visit. We can actually just kick off the world map here. So we have the world of Fer.al, the world of Fer.al, and so we have various. There are kind of 3 social areas in this kind of triangle shape. So we have City Fer.al, Shattered Bay, and the Sunken Thicket, and they're all kind of like social areas where you can go shopping, play mini games, talk with NPCs. And they each have their own like look and feel.
There's the place where you start out when you first log into the game.
Yeah, you spawn into City Fer.al, but yeah, over here in Shattered Bay, it's sort of like it's basically like a port area, and there are a lot of like sort of I think it's like the primary port of like shipping and trade, and
it's got some real-time feel.
And
the sketchier characters are a little bit more kind of piratey.
Yeah.
Where like they're more like the back alley dealers.
So yeah, Striker up here on this top level, he's like the he's sort of like a sketchy kind of black market dealer guy. And he has a very good like piratey theme song if you go up to him. Our audio team also is they go totally wild with all of the the music for each of the characters and areas, and even down to like sound effects when you're in menus and stuff. They're very good at what they do.
I'm absolutely in love with their music. So when I try to focus on something, like some sort of studying task, I usually keep whatever, like a lo-fi playlist in the background. Sometimes I'll just open up the game and have the loading music playing, just like, oh, it's so soothing and just in this happy space, and I can focus. It's the audio in our game is fantastic.
So yeah, but I don't know where Striker gets his stuff. He gets it from somewhere. I'm not privy to his dealings. Otherwise, I might be implicated in something. But
fair point.
But yeah, he's definitely like, His shop is called Reputable Goods, but I am not so sure.
I mean, why would you have to call it that?
Why would you have to call it Reputable Goods? I don't know, guys.
And, just so people know, you can teleport directly to Striker. We're just giving a little tour.
We can even pop back there. So we open up our world map and Shattered Bay, and then if we navigate over here, it says Reputable Goods, the name of his shop, and then it'll just drop us right there. So that's just a quick, what's that called? Fast travel? You know, if you ever need to just pop somewhere.
One thing that I find out not all of our players are aware of is that you can actually do different emotes within the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so when we land next, show us
that off. Go to here. So yeah, you can. Oh, sorry. It feels like I'm lagging a little bit on my end. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, if you press B, it pulls up like basically an emote wheel where you can trigger some animations, and they're unique to each avatar. So you can kind of like experiment, see. It's fun to see like again what our animators have come up with for each individual.
Right. The Senri one's different from the Kitsune.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like.
Yeah. Oh, everyone who's in the frame, show us your favorite emotes right now.
Oh yeah, people can all emote together here. But yeah, then you can.
Another way to get to that interface too is you can click on your name.
Yeah.
So you can hit B or click on your name, and you can bring up the emote menu.
Mm-hmm. I'll just do a flex here.
There we go.
And then.
Seeing that we have 4 dragons in the screen right now too. Awesome.
Yeah.
Someone's very brightly green also.
I clicked on someone else's name by accident. I think it's easy. It's easy to use B.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can I think you can use it for a role player, just kind of showing off.
I like the party one usually, especially with the kids. There's this cute little tippy top.
Oh yeah, yeah. Our animators have given the characters a lot of personality, which is a lot of fun.
Absolutely. So we are coming up on the 5-minute mark, winding down toward the end of our stream. Does anyone else have any more questions for either myself or for Sam? I'll go ahead and run around for a bit and take a look at the chat, see what else is up there.
Yeah, I'm just probably going to wander a bit.
People are really excited to hear about the queens. People are asking about the crystal in the middle of Red Shade Bay. I'm sorry, Shedrade. I could speak today.
Shattered Bay, yeah.
Shattered Bay.
So, yeah, the idea there is that, there's some sort of crystal that shattered. And if you look over here, this is another time where our environment artist really put a lot of thought into how this works. So basically this crystal is here, but something, some sort of event has carved out a part of this bay. And you can see that if you look up here on the rock face, there's actually some sort of patterning as if it was all scorched into obsidian, it's scorched clean with this kind of layer of purple, as if some sort of event is what carved this out here. And so, and there is even some shards that kind of flung off and they're stuck in this waterfall here. So yeah, it's
see, I had never noticed that before. When I remember seeing the crystals, part of me was like, oh, the crystals grew out of this, but
yeah, so
I guess they're placed right now. It just looked like they were sort of blasted there.
Yeah, so that led to this creation, and I think some enterprising, citizens of Fer.al were just like, this would make a good port, and then made that kind of. They built all of their their housing and their shops into there. Yeah.
All right, we have a question. Oh, what are Kino's pronouns?
Oh, Kino's pronouns are they, them.
Oh, awesome. It's great to have them.
By the way, I was going to do that at the beginning of the stream until I forgot. Yes, my pronouns are also they, them.
Yeah, Sam, your pronouns, as you said, they, them. Mine are she, her.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we work really hard to make sure that we have a level of inclusion within the game of Fer.al. we recognize that a large portion of our players are very, very diverse, and we want to make sure that we're respecting the intent of that. Awesome. So we are winding down. Why don't you take us back to City Fer.al?
Yeah, we'll get a little grand finale going almost. Yeah, so we can just click back here.
Here's another question.
Mm-hmm.
Are NPCs native to this area, and are sparks non-native?
Yeah.
Now the two I know aren't mutually exclusive per se, but there are some NPCs that don't have sparks. Is that right?
Right. So yeah, if an NPC doesn't have a spark, it does mean that they live on the planet. They've always lived on the planet. Their ancestors have, they are endemic to the planet. Whereas sparks are more like, migrants coming to the planet.
Awesome. Good question. I know one of my favorite NPCs in the city is Nadia. Very, very witty dialogue. No, I'm just kidding. For those of you unaware, Nadia.
You talk to her and she's just like.
Few lines of dance. Just peaceful.
It's just nice to just not talk sometimes.
Well, Sam, I think that's good for our first playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for joining us during our first live stream. It has been an absolute blast. We love your enthusiasm. I know we couldn't get to all of your questions today, but we will be streaming again. We don't have a calendar set up just yet, but please do definitely jump into our Discord, jump into our social pages, and absolutely, if you haven't already, download the game. We're early access right now, but the game is available, and we're coming out with new content all the time. So
yeah, it's all really exciting.
See you there.
All right, yeah, thank you so much.
So
I'm gonna switch this back over to the webcams. Let's see. And then we'll wrap up shortly. But yeah, thanks again, everybody. It's been a lot of fun.
We'll see you again soon.
Bye. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, there we go.